Sunday evening in Arizona, and Fatality Field is the site of a battle between first and fourth in the West Division. The Arizona Scorpions looking to take one more step towards a potential division title, while the Denver Nightwings look to keep their faint playoff hopes alive. With a win tonight, another matchup between two long-standing division foes on tap on this Sunday night in the SFL. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fatality Field in Phoenix, Arizona, alongside our statisticians Ron Haynes, Justin Reside, and Adam Knoll, commissioner and producer extraordinaire Cameron Irvine, and my partner, the great Rochelle Colston. I'm Tim Hackett. You're watching the SFL, presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. Thanks for joining us wherever you're joining us from. Rochelle, these two teams know each other very well, division foes for the last few seasons. They've met every single season since season 15, and they're renewing this division rivalry here tonight with a lot at stake in week 12.
Yeah, Tim, and both of these offenses, are pretty similar in the past games. They're both run heavy, but Eddie Gage wants to see a different offense tonight from Arizona. He wants to throw the ball into the tight end more tonight. We'll see what happens.
It has been a very thin, very tight all-time series, but Arizona has dominated of late, kind of a reflection of how these two franchises have gone big picture over the last couple of seasons. It's been a struggle for Denver. It's been a lot of success for Arizona. Both of those two trends have continued here in the new era of the Simulation Football League, and Arizona looking to get one step closer to another division title and another playoff berth. They could do that with a win tonight, and the Scorpions will get the ball first. Arizona is 6-3, defeating Portland 28-13 last week after losing their previous two games at Las Vegas and at Los Angeles by 3 points each. And Ashley Jackson's team right on the cusp of yet another playoff spot, a place that they have been a lot over the last handful of seasons. Jackson will start under center. She is last in the league in pass attempts, but as Rochelle mentioned, head coach Eddie Gage wants to have her throw the ball a little bit more tonight. We'll see if that comes to fruition against this Denver defense. Right on cue. First play of the game is a draw to DJ Moses, who is working on another fantastic season.
Yeah, and Arizona's coming out doing what they normally do, giving the ball to DJ Moses. He picks up 7 yards on first down.
This is one of the best rushing teams in the SFL. Arizona is second in the league in rushing yards, 214 per game, behind only Baltimore. For the league best, they have 222, not much more, and Moses picks up 7 to start. Moses again, left tackle, DJ Moses with another strong gain, out to the 34-yard line. Back-to-back runs of 7 for Moses to start this thing off.
And Moses is a very elusive runner. He breaks the tackle, does a little spin move. He's hard to tackle in the open field.
It's so interesting to see the shifts, Rochelle, for so many teams here with the new era of this league. Teams function a little bit differently, even if they look more or less the same. Arizona was a great rushing team last year, the best rushing team last year, and here they are again. New game, similar results. Moses shakes out of the initial hit and is able to pick up 5. Here is the offense for Arizona and head coach Eddie Gage. Ashley Jackson, the quarterback, DJ Moses, the tailback, Justin Williams is the fullback. Great season for him. Wide receivers, old names and familiar faces, Donnie Hands and James Hands, with TJ Punk and Ryan Orlovsky. Tight ends, Will Todd and Adam Grabowski, who was just signed about 5 weeks ago. Here's Moses again. 4th straight run for Moses. Breaks to the outside. Moses with the spin and just barely wrestled down by rookie cornerback Kippa Jones. Welcome to the league, sir. Moses with another big run. 4 straight runs to start the day, and they've all been great.
I mean, he had some great blocking, but he did a lot of it himself, breaking tackles and just getting down the field. It's impressive to watch.
Moses averaging just a tick over 6 yards per carry this season, 6th best in the league, and as you can see on his first 4 carries, averaging 8.5 yards per carry. All the way out to the 46-yard line on just 4 plays. Jackson will throw. Sprint out to her left. Ashley over the middle. First down and a whole lot more on a large link up to James Hands out to the 25-yard line. The first passing play of the day for Arizona, and that worked as well as the runs.
Yeah, I guess they got the defense off guard there. I mean, you run, and also you just launch one 20 yards down the field, and great route, and really no defenders around him. He was wide open.
Well, the Hans brothers are back in Arizona this season after a time away. This is overall their 5th season with the franchise, 8th season in the league for Donnie, 9th for James, and they've played together almost their whole careers. Again, back after some time away, a bit of an off-season intriguing storyline, and they've both been solid, but again, the offense doesn't run through them anymore. Jackson will throw, has Hans again inside the 10-yard line. Back-to-back grabs for James Hans.
And I like this offense of Arizona right now, getting away from the run a little bit, shooting down the field further. Ashley's right on cue. Perfect passes, perfect routes. Can't ask for more than that.
Let's introduce you to the Arizona offensive line, because we would be remiss if we don't talk about this group. The tackles are Igor Barbatov and Sean Crooked, EJ DeQ alongside Patrick Kelly, and center Gene Benazzi. Barbatov and Benazzi, a pair of brothers, formerly on the Denver Nightwings, the team that Arizona is facing tonight. Both of them former defensive linemen as well. From the 10-yard line, Jackson throws short to DJ Moses. Moses spins underneath the tackle and picks up 5.
Yeah, DJ Moses is definitely a dual threat. He can run the ball from the backfield. He can catch passes in the open field. He's a major weapon for Ashley.
That seems to have been their plan mostly over the past, but Moses doesn't catch the ball too much this season compared to years past. Hard to blame him for how well he's run it. They give him 7 on his first catch of the day. Split backs with Jackson under center. Here's DJ Moses. Leaps for the end zone, and he stops short, but it's enough for a 1st and goal because apparently they still had some room to work.
Well, Tim, usually when you see that jump, and the running back usually makes it into the end zone, but good stop at Denver.
Well, again, apparently that spot was just shy of the 10-yard line on that second link up from Jackson to Hans, so it's 1st and goal, Arizona. The nose of the ball is encroaching the white line. Here's a give, and this time they score. DJ Moses gets it done on the second try, and Arizona strikes first.
I think he just did the dive to make it look pretty. I don't think it was really necessary. There was nobody around him. He just jumped in the air. A great touchdown by Arizona on their first drive.
It took what would have been a half-yard plunge and put it into the highlight reel because of that high-powered drive, or that high-powered jump. Makes it look pretty. Rushing touchdown number 8 this season for Moses, number 18 for Arizona as a team. This elite rushing team, Ray, you see it, 9 plays on 80 yards. That was Moses' drive. He had 6 of those carries and another catch, helping the team move down the field with relative ease.
And Eddie's, part of Eddie's game was to play ball control, and that drive took 3 minutes and almost 40 seconds. So doing a good job controlling the clock there, too.
Both of these teams are top 10 this season in time of possession. They both average better than 21 minutes of TOP, and as you'll note at home, games run 40 minutes of game time, so we'll see if which of those two teams is able to win that battle. Right, for freshman return man Alex Jackson out to the 33-yard line. Solid return for Denver to get things started. Well, if Arizona's on a hot streak, then Denver very much on the other side. They're 3-7. They've lost 4 straight games. All of them have been by 12 points or more. That includes a 62-31 loss last week against the Seattle Nemesis, the upstart team in the league this season. That was the most points that Denver has allowed in franchise history last week against Seattle, 62. Arizona's not quite that lethal of an offense this season, you don't think, but here's an obvious bit of analysis. The Nightwing defense has to be a whole lot better to give them a chance to win this game and stay alive in the playoff hunts. Here's Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Denver's got a pretty good running back in their own right, Rochelle, and Bailey O'Shaughnessy with a gain of just 1.
And she's had a great season. I mean, but still, she's been the workhorse, and they can't just rely on her. They've got to do other things to be successful here tonight.
5th total season as a feature back for Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Was expected to be one of the next great superstar tailbacks and has lived up to that expectation so far. Gene Struthers, sophomore quarterback, throwing this way and out of the hands of his target, fellow sophomore Dylan Lewis. Coverage provided by Parker Thomas. It's 3rd down.
Yeah, Eddie Gage and Parker Thomas were all over that play. They were right next to the receiver and just didn't come down with it.
Well, a 3rd down for Denver is no surprise. They have the 2nd most 3rd down opportunities and 3rd most 3rd down conversions of any team this season, but converted just 57%. which is league average. But again, only one team has had more chances on third down this season than Denver. 114 total third down opportunities. Here's number 115. Struthers off the head of his receiver. That's Logan Keel. More great coverage by Arizona, and Denver will have to punt.
Yeah, excellent job on scouting their offense by the defensive coordinator for Arizona, because the secondary is right there.
This Arizona secondary has long been known for as one of the strengths of the team, but they have really reinforced the rest of the defense around that secondary in recent seasons. It's tough to find a weak spot on this defense on paper, it feels like. Just all of the superstars that they've got dotting this roster just in name only, Rochelle. I mean, you've got superstars at every level. Hunter Norwood on the line, Eddie Gage and Iverson Gamble in the secondary. Linebackers a little bit less experienced, but J.R. Lawless has had a great career. It's just, again, superstars at least in name all across the board for Arizona defensively. And with Eddie Gage at the helm, as we always say, you imagine their defense will help to lead the way. That's helped lead the way to a 6-3 record so far this season. Ashley Jackson with a 7-0 lead. Zips it over the seam and incomplete, out of the hands of a Denver defender. They were going for hands once again, and that's broken up by rookie corner Luke Schreiner.
Yeah, great little pass deflection there, because the receiver was pretty much open again down the field.
Eddie Gage telling us in the chat that DJ Moses is now 6th all-time in SFL history in career rushing touchdowns, with his half-yard plunge just a few minutes ago, giving Arizona a 7-0 lead. 39-yard punt a moment ago, pinning Arizona back. Jackson fires. First down, Arizona. Will Todd with his first catch.
Welcome to the game, Will Todd. I'm expected to hear his name called a lot tonight, Tim. The real stars of this offense, though, is that O-line. Look how much time they give Ashley Jackson. I mean, it's unbelievable.
They have really invested in the offensive line over the past few seasons, and this offseason especially, like we said, getting those former two Nightwings, Barbatov and Benassi, who have wanted to play together for a while. They are able to do so now in Arizona. They played together last season in Denver as well. Strong toss to DJ Moses. Spin, and Moses hogtied for a loss by rookie linebacker Luis Quintana.
Hey, good job by the linebacker. Bringing DJ Moses down the backfield is a tough job, but he did it.
They're going to give him a gain of 2, so Quintana gets screwed out of a TFL. Tough break for a rookie backer just trying to make his presence felt in the league, but that's how it goes sometimes. It will be a gain of 2 for Moses. When it's working, I guess. Here's another toss. Quintana nowhere in sight this time, but Moses still able to, well, get the same amount of yards as the previous play, apparently. That's Schreiner on the stop again.
Yeah, Moses is tough. They're doing a good job right now containing him on this drive, though.
No doubt. Especially compared to that first drive. And only one team rushes better than Arizona this season. 214 rushing yards per game, second best in the league. And a league that has rushed very well across the board this season. On third down, Jackson right to James Hands again, the appropriately names. And Arizona with a third down conversion through James Hands.
And if I was Arizona at the beginning in the middle of the field, I keep throwing there all night. Denver's got to do a better job of covering that area in the field.
Well, I think it's fair to call Ashley Jackson a superstar in this league, Rochelle. I mean, she's a trailblazer, as we know, first and heretofore only female quarterback in the league. Does so much important work off the field with her unofficial and official roles in the league. She's had a quiet year by her standards as she hits James Hands with an underneath route. Like we said, in a 27-team league, she is 27th in completions and attempts, 24th in yards, but she has thrown 18 touchdowns in 9 games, which is second most in the league. Her touchdown to completion ratio, 16% of her completions go for touchdowns. That is insane. Here's Moses, and a big running room for Moses out to the 20-yard line. First down, Scorps. He can do no wrong.
Yeah, I mean, to talk more about that, Tim. When you have a running game that's that lethal, you really don't have to pass the ball all that much.
And that's clearly been the game plan, right? I mean, week in and week out, it feels like they're just going to try to run it, and when it works extremely well. And You don't have to pass it if it works, and when you have the lead, like you said. Moses gets Arizona inside the red zone once again. Jackson will pass here, fires Will Todd, carrying a defender to the 1-yard line and over. It's a touchdown for Arizona. Will Todd carrying 2 Nightwings over the goal line for 6.
I may see a challenge back here. I'm not sure he actually got to the end zone.
Well, short. I mean, I didn't think he had a chance, to be honest with you, Rochelle.
Yep, there it is.
Perfect. Right at the last moment, Stefan Forge, the Denver coach, saw what we saw. It was Kippa Jones that tried to get into Will Todd's shoulder, and Todd lowered the shoulder to try to force forward and bring the rookie into the end zone with him, but Jones and one other Denver defender teamed up to try to make the stop. Let's see what we can see on the replay.
Yeah, they turned him around.
It is Jones and free safety Lucas DeVore on the hit. Here's the call. Wow. Stefan Forge in Denver with a crucial challenge, stopping that touchdown from Will Todd. He is indeed short.
Now we get to see DJ Moses 3 times in a row try to punch it to the end zone.
I was about to agree with you wholeheartedly, but is this Justin Williams territory perhaps as well?
That's true. They do use their fullback a lot in Arizona.
One of the most successful fullbacks in the league. 10 rushing touchdowns for Justin Williams, second among all fullbacks. One of the best fullback seasons in league history. And they have Moses and Williams split back behind Jackson. This is exactly where they scored the first time, and it's where they will score the second time. Moses just barely across the line. And unless we see another challenge, that one will count.
I think, I think they actually got it this time, but he was very close to not getting it. Denver's defense looked pretty good there. Oh, I don't know.
Hit right at the line by Dusty Killebrew. And does Denver dare challenge this one too? It doesn't look like they will.
I might have to after seeing the replay.
Denver's content to let that one go. Imagine they're not going to come up aces 2 times in a row, I guess. And they were clearly right on the previous challenge. That one looked a little bit more dodgy, I guess. But Moses will take it. His second rushing touchdown tonight. He is up to 119 in his career, passing the Hall of Famer Ray Bentley for sole possession of 6th place all-time in the SFL leaderboards. Incredible career.
Yeah, if you're Denver's defense now, you're tired. You've been on the field a lot. You've been on the field for most of the quarter.
Had a good return last time through Alex Jackson, and they will have another one. The rookie, Alex Jackson, surging up the near side. No one will catch him. Touchdown, Denver. On special teams, the rookie Alex Jackson delivers his first career SFL touchdown.
And wow, what a way to do it. I mean, you're down 14 points, and in one play, you get 7 points on your own. Great job by Denver there. Congratulations on Jackson.
This team has split time with kick returners this season. You don't see that from everybody in this league, but Alex Jackson and Dylan Lewis have both split. Neither have been particularly explosive this season for the Nightwings. So much for that. From one end zone to the other, and the Nightwings are on the board in a crucial game.
Wow. Too bad we don't have Cliff Allen in here right now.
Special teams matter. And Denver will trot out their place kicker. That is rookie Hudson James for the PAT. It is up and good. In a flash, the Nightwings had 0 going, Rochelle. They watched Arizona march down the field twice and score 2 drives of 9 plays and about 80 yards both times, both ending in DJ Moses touchdowns. And just like that, Denver has not only something to cheer about, but a way to potentially flip this script. Returnable here on the other side for Ryan Arlovsky, known as a special teams ace, and a paltry return of 30 yards after that kick 6 from Jackson.
The only downside to this is your defense is tired. You're putting them right back on the field with no rest.
It's a great point. You just said that prior to that last drive, and nothing's changed. They got an extra, what, 15 seconds of game time on the sideline?
Yeah.
And they'll have to go right back to it. Great point. Jackson, 7 of her first 8. Moses with 2 rushing touchdowns on 2 possessions for Arizona. Jackson to throw. Over the seam. Will Todd with the catch again. Robbed to that touchdown on the last possession, but he'll start off this possession with a gain of 13.
And Eddie seems to be following his game plan. You know, get it to Will Todd often in the beginning of the game, and he's doing that.
And Arizona does not pass the ball very much. They've played 9 games. Jackson averages fewer than 20 pass attempts per game, 19.6 through 9 games, and that was her 9th attempt and 8th completion. Her completion percentage is very good, 64%, top 10 in the league, but again, fewest completions and fewest attempts. Here's Moses, right to the midfield line, and a nice gain for Moses. Here is the defense for Denver and Stephon Forge. Defensive linemen Robert Brady, Hugo Reynosa, Gerald Cumbus, and Brenda Puff. Linebackers Luis Quintana, Dusty Killebrew, and Stephon Forge. Corners Kippa Jones, Nick Kindler, Luke Schreiner, and Raska Santagria, with safeties Lucas DeVore and Strike Vader. A ton of rookies on this Denver defense, 7 of them in fact. We'll have to try to stop this Arizona offense. No stopping DJ Moses to begin this game. Rochelle, another first down.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's got to figure a way to contain him. If not, this game's going to get really, really out of hand quickly.
Arizona runs the ball 35.5 times per game on average, again, compared to 19.5 pass attempts. So nearly 2 to 1. And again, it has worked extremely well. One of the best rushing offenses in the league. First down for Jackson. Sees some pressure. She's going to step up. She will run for a gain of 4. Eddie Gage has said before, Rochelle, that Ashley has requested to run the ball more in this offense. And Eddie says, no, you are way too valuable. That time she took matters into her own hands.
Yeah, when you don't have a backup quarterback in this league, you don't want your quarterback taking off running. At least she slid at the end there. That was a good sign.
Barely avoided a hit and was able to get 4. Here's a more traditional play. Moses threw a tackle, first down and more. Threw a second tackle. Away he goes. A hat trick in the first quarter for DJ Moses. His 10th of the season. The Scorps are flying.
Wow, and DJ Moses had a little bit of a hole through the line. He just did the rest all by himself, 10. He was shedding tacklers, just powering his way through the secondary and found the end zone.
40-yard touchdown run for DJ Moses. He's over 100 rushing yards in the first quarter alone with 3 scores. One of the best in the league.
And now you're down 2 scores now in a hurry in the first quarter. If you're Denver, you got to come out here, firing all cylinders on your next possession.
It's crazy because, I mean, running backs and all players for that matter in this league have a type, right? They have a build. They are expected to do certain things better based on their body type, their skill set, everything else. You know this better than I do, Rochelle, but for me, Moses is one of the backs in this league that can do everything. You can run him up the middle, you can stretch him out, you can toss it to him, you can pass it to him. They haven't done that much this season, but they have in the past. Like, he is one of those backs that, for me, can do anything, and that is such a useful weapon. And Alex Jackson has been Denver's best weapon. Another solid return for him out to the 35.
Yeah, Tim, I'm looking at the drive summary for the first quarter, and Denver had the ball a total of a minute.
Jeez.
I mean, the defense. Ugh.
Yeah. Doesn't count the time that Jackson had the ball in his hand, I guess. Yeah, but offensive time of possession, yeah, nothing for Denver. This is just their second drive. Arizona's already scored 3 times.
Yes, Arizona's trying to do what Fort Worth did last night.
Which is?
Score 8 touchdowns out of 8 possessions.
It could happen. Great tackle immediately off of Bailey O'Shaughnessy, who caught the pass. Hit immediately by Nathaniel Diggs, 4th season linebacker. Time ticking in the first quarter. Denver down big. A loss is going to end the season for the Nightwings. A win would move them to 4-7, and they still have a fighting chance. They have a bye next week to figure things out, and then they'll play San Diego to close the season. They will snap it one more time. Struthers swatted away. by Iverson Gamble, a former standout corner, and the Nightwings will be able to run another play here.
Do you see Arizona secondary whenever the ball's thrown to receiver? There's like 3 guys there. 3. Not 1, 3.
It's been a tough season for Gene Struthers. He struggled last season as a rookie for Denver, and even though he passes the ball a fair bit this season, it's not been to a ton of success. And they're going to need 10 yards on their second 3rd down try of the game. Struthers under siege, steps back, fires sideline, and broken up. One-on-one coverage on the out-of-bounds line. Mosley was the target. Great coverage out there, and it's another 3rd down stop.
And you get the ball back, you're 3 and out. Your defense, they're going to be dying by halftime.
And they will have to snap the punt with 3 seconds left. I didn't think they needed to snap it on 2nd down, Ray, but they passed it twice, and it ends up being the second 3 and out for Denver. Here's the punt away. Pretty good one. Inside the 20. Arlovsky on the return. Great coverage by the Denver special teams. 0 first downs for Denver in the first quarter. They did score on special teams, but Arizona is 3 of 3 through DJ Moses, and they have a lead after 10 minutes. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. We're live from Fatality Field, and area coverage of tonight's game is provided by Dags DroneWorks, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. Either on the air or through the grounds, Arizona's offense put together a show that's perfect for a Dags video production. Very pretty first quarter, and that is a brilliant throw from Jackson right on target to James Hands for a 1st down.
She's come out firing all cylinders. Donnie Hands ran a great route, one-on-one coverage, and comes down with the pass. Well defended.
Both James Hands and Will Todd had great first quarters. They're both over 50 yards receiving already. AJ's been almost perfect, but all of that pales in comparison to what DJ Moses did. Just look down the list, and Arizona's had a brilliant start to the game. She'll throw it again, right into the hands of DJ Moses. And Moses with some yards after catch, looking like he does as a running back, a gain of 11.
And I mean, give credit to that O-line once again. Denver brought pressure. The O-line held up, giving her plenty of time. Look at that.
This is, again, not part of the Arizona offense this season. Moses has caught 4 passes all year. Justin Williams, the fullback, has also only caught 4 passes. 2 of them have gone for touchdowns, which is a great hit rate for him. But this has been a large piece of Moses' career, all with the Arizona franchise. He's close to 700 career receptions, which is top 30 all-time among all players. They're really going to him here.
Wow.
Hands, another league veteran, and James Hands, who's just outside the top 30 in career receptions, has another grab tonight.
And Ashley's throwing darts. I mean, she put that ball where only he could catch it.
Look at that. Reaching up and snagging it past the outstretched Denver defender. You see, that's Nick Kindler, the veteran on this Denver defense. There aren't many. His 8th season all with this franchise, by far the longest tenured Nightwing on defense. And Kindler not able to do anything with that one.
Yeah, their defense is very young, Tim. They'll develop, though.
Almost always see growing pains, especially for quarterbacks and defenders in this league.
Oh, my God.
Jackson, no rookie, links up with Will Todd for another catch, and they stop him just short of the sticks.
I'm not even sure how he caught that one.
Such a good player for this team. Really become a weapon, I think, Will Todd.
Definitely.
Used to have TJ Punk as a tight end, and now he's flashed out to ostensibly be their #1 wide receiver, but we haven't seen him at all in this game. Moses, hop, skip, and a jump, and a 1st down for Moses to the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Denver's going to have to find an answer from Moses here. I mean, he's just having his way.
This Denver defense, I mean, it's not the greatest in the league. They're below average in just about everything, but it's not like they're terrible. They're bottom 10 in a lot of things, but they're not at the bottom of the league in anything. They're kind of league average across the board, hence their record at 3-7, but they've had no answer for really anything on the Arizona offense today. Jackson will throw. Moses on the check down. Nothing doing. And right on cue. Great stop by this Denver defense. No gain for Moses.
Yeah, great stop by Denver when it matters. They're in the red zone here, trying to prevent the touchdown, trying to force the field goal here.
Two rookie linebackers, Luis Quintana and Dusty Killebrew. Both of them were in the territory that time. Maybe a loss of a half yard for Moses. Punk takes a step up. James Hands will move across. Will anybody from Denver follow? Arizona 3 of 3 in the red zone today. Toss it to Moses, and Moses runs into Nick Kindler. We just talked about him. His 8th season with the team that drafted him, the most veteran member of this defense. It's not even close, and he makes a stop.
Now it's 3rd and goal. Let's see if Denver can come up, make them enforce the field goal here, Tim. That'd be a win for them.
Do have Hugo Reynosa and Rosca Santagria, who have both been in the league for half dozen seasons, but Kindler takes the cake. Jackson rolls. Jackson throws back across and air mails for target. James Hands had been perfect in this game. Too tall that time for Ashley Jackson through double coverage. It's 4th down.
Okay, great play there by number 35. Rosca Santagria there, preventing that catch. This is a win for Denver. They forced a field goal, Tim. They get a stop in the red zone.
No doubt. I mean, it's their first red zone stop. It was a little bit too far out for them to continue to just pound it through DJ Moses like they did the first 3 times. Arizona had to pass it a couple of times, and it doesn't work. And so JT Delaney, who comes over in the offseason after London was not able to play this season. So Delaney needed a new home. We mentioned Cliff Allen earlier. He's gone after a long tenure with this team. Delaney comes in, and he knocks through an easy field goal to extend the lead. Just his 6th made field goal this season for JT Delaney. That is the fewest makes and fewest attempts this year. He's 6 of 6, but no team has attempted fewer field goals than Arizona. Kind of hard to believe, but when you see how good their red zone has been tonight, it kind of stands to reason.
Definitely, and that was a 5-minute drive by Arizona. So if you're Denver's defense, you've got to be exhausted. You're needing oxygen on the sideline after this.
Arizona has been great in red zones this season. 7th in attempts, 36 times, and they've scored 30 touchdowns on those 36 tries.
Oh,
and
no.
the pass from Struthers is intercepted right into the hands of Everett Garrison. In his 10th season in the league, he's been a standout almost all of them. And when it rains, it pours for the Nightwings.
Yeah, it's storming right now, Tim. Wow. It's a bad throw by Struthers.
On the first play of the drive, no less.
If you're Denver's defense, you're getting mad out there.
You've got to go right back out to it and try to do something you haven't done all day, which stop this Arizona offense, and they'll start from the 18-yard line. Denver has 1 yard on offense so far. And here's Moses, who has 3 rushing touchdowns, and they'll stop him for about a yard. So he's matched Denver's offensive output as a team on just that play. Eddie Gage coaching up the rest of the offense, and how much coaching he needs to do. This has been about as good of a start as he could have dreamed.
Well, you know, they're doing a good job of stopping Moses in the red zone. Like, they should be able to do that in the middle of the open field. I don't understand, but
it's tanked his yards per carry because he's had so many 1-yard rush attempts in the red zone, including, of course, the touchdown. Here's the give. Moses from the offset eye, a little bit better, out towards the 10-yard line.
I think that was a favorable spot for Arizona. I'm not sure if he got that many yards.
I agree, and it's not the first time we've said that. 17 for 125. He's almost at his season average. We're in the second quarter. Jackson, hit as she throws, back in the end zone and out of the hands of Will Todd. He was wide open. And what's been a nearly perfect game for Arizona so far, that is the only blemish, and it's a big one.
Now it's totally catchable, so you got to catch that.
Wow. You don't see that often from Todd. I mean, Luke Schreiner, you see him number 29. He was at the very right fringe of your picture a moment prior. He may have got a piece of it. I couldn't tell, but even if he did, it hits Will Todd in both hands.
Yeah, you got to catch those.
Wow. Well, maybe if it's James Hands, he brings it in, but it's Will Todd. Which is not, again, he's been a great player, but he's not named hands. Well, JT Delaney with his second field goal in about a minute. That's not as pretty, but it is good. And Delaney, who had just 5 made field goals all season, makes 2 in the span of a couple of minutes, and it's 27-7. Looking back at the drive summary, those 2 field goals separated by almost exactly 2 minutes of game time. Crazy. Different return man here for Denver. It's Dylan Lewis taking over for Alex Jackson, who has been their best player, Jackson, I feel. And Denver will start off from the 27-yard line. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, then welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on or off the field. It's never too late to get involved. If you join our Discord server, you might be able to meet the stars of the league, including Rochelle Colston, who does about as much as anybody in this league, including joining me for the broadcast tonight. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, Denver superstar tailback, has barely had the chance to get the ball, Rochelle, and strong gain for Bailey O. Gain of 5 to start off this possession.
Yeah, I think we need to start seeing a lot more of Bailey O.
1 total yard for Denver on their first 3 offensive possessions. If you're joining us late, you're asking, well, how did they score? It was a kick 6 from Alex Jackson. That's their only offense, literally. Here's a give to R.E. Mills. R.E. Mills out of the backfield somehow gets to the line of scrimmage and gets a gain of 1. A standard halfback run through a fullback, and that's how well it worked.
Yeah, if you're Denver, you have to convert here. You have to get a first down. You have to put your defense, keep your defense on the sideline. You're killing them.
Yeah, Denver second most third down opportunities, 3rd most conversions. The league average in hit rates on the season. Struthers on another 3rd down. All the way back going the wrong direction. Fires and knocked away. Had a target after all of that. It was R.E. Mills streaking down the center of the pitch. It is broken up by Iverson Gamble, and Denver will have to punt again.
And they made that short pass look like a very long pass because he backpedaled so much there. Oof.
We've said it before, anytime I'm in Denver, I feel like the compass is not properly calibrated because of the altitude, but we're in Phoenix tonight, so no excuse there for Struthers. Very nearly ended up making a great play after all of that, but better coverage by the Arizona defense. Another punt, another return for Arlovsky. Not much doing there. The drive summary tonight for Denver. 1 yard on 3 plays and a 3 and out. 0 yards on 3 plays and a 3 and out. An interception on the first play, and 6 yards on 3 plays and a 3 and outs. That's it for the Nightwings. They have totaled 7 offensive yards on 4 possessions, including an interception for Gene Struthers. Frankly, Ray, we try to be nice in this league. We know a lot of people are watching, a lot of people work hard. It cannot be much of a worse start, especially considering what the Arizona offense has done. And there's a gain of 9 for Moses. He has outgained Denver by himself on that one play.
I don't know what Denver's got to do. I mean, they have a halfback, but they're in these 3rd and medium positions where they have to throw the ball, and they're just not getting it done.
It has been a tough sale for Gene Struthers this season. I think it's fair to say. Questions about the long-term viability, I guess, but teams don't typically bail on players in this league. It's typically the other way around as Moses picks up yet another first down. So they drafted Struthers last season to replace Eric Price, who went over to Denver's long-standing rivals, Las Vegas, before last season. And it's been hit or miss for Price over there, so the grass hasn't necessarily been all that much greener, though it has been a little bit so. And he has watched as his former team has skidded to a 3-7 record with Struthers in his 2nd season. Jackson on first down. Left seam this time and knocked away. Great coverage by Luke Schreiner against Will Todd.
Yeah, that's 2 drop passes in a row by Will Todd, so the secondary is coming up somewhat big here.
We mentioned it's such a young group. 7 total rookies on defense, including 3 in the secondary. We've seen both Kippa Jones and Luke Schreiner a lot in this game. Haven't seen Strike Vader yet. Normally lines up as their strong safety, but just a very, very young team for Jeremy Vega and company as they try to rebuild. what is a long-standing great franchise.
Oh, no.
Jackson's going to take off and run again and gets forearm shoved down by Dusty Killebrew. Second run tonight for Ashley Jackson. That'll have Eddie Gage sweating a little bit.
Definitely. You definitely don't want Ashley to get hurt running for a couple of yards.
As we said, she has protested. She has requested to run more. And Eddie has said no dice, but she's now picked it up twice. Nice gain. Jackson's pass is caught this time by Will Todd. Beats Luke Schreiner this time, and another 1st and goal coming up for Arizona.
Yeah, if I was Denver's defense, I wouldn't even know what to do. I mean, they run the ball, and they throw the perfect pass to a wide open tight end.
Well, I got a little bit excited. They're nowhere near 1st and goal. They're not even inside the red zone. I saw the 10. It was actually the 20, and they mark him short of the 20. So there you go. That's on me. Here's Moses. Moses
there you go.
getting inside the 10-yard line, and he will score anyway. They don't even need to be in the red zone. Rushing touchdown number 4 for DJ Moses. All Arizona to start.
And I mean, he just making it look too easy out there. The O-line is unbelievable. They give him a hole. He does the rest of it by himself. There's no stopping him. Look at that. He's just like tackle wasn't even there.
It's so disheartening as a defender, and you and I both know this. You know it better than me because you're better than me. But as a defender, you do all you can, game planning wise, in the prep room with your coaching staff, and then once you actually get on the field to try to slow down an offense. And we've seen that offenses are often favored in this sport, and it doesn't matter what Denver has done. I mean, they haven't played horribly. They've been in spots, but Moses has just made them look silly.
Definitely. And I mean, if you're Denver right now, your bright spots are special teams units.
We mentioned the struggles for Denver on offense. Not the case for Arizona. Denver has failed to record a 1st down on any of their possessions. Arizona has scored on every single one of theirs. They are 6 of 6. 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals to start off the game. Unbelievable start for the Scorpions.
The only bright side for Denver is Gene Struthers came here with 28 sacks. He hasn't been sacked yet tonight.
Always looking at the bright side. I respect that about you. Years of running the show in LA will do that to you, I guess.
All right, be nice.
I'll be nice. Gene Struthers trying for a nice play and a little bit too tall. Looking for Dylan Lewis. It airmails him. Good coverage. Here is the Denver offense. Haven't seen much of any of them so far. Gene Struthers is the quarterback. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, the tailback. R.E. Mills, the fullback. Wide receivers, Dylan Lewis, Jeremy Mosley, Logan Keel, and Alex Jackson. Tight ends, pair of rookies, and Keith Wheeler and Chris Althur. They don't really go to them very much in the passing game. They've combined for 2 catches this season. Denver just looking to make some forward progress here. Struthers nearly sacked and just out of the hands of R.E. Mills. That was a pretty good looking pass, but better coverage by Arizona.
And once again, the Arizona secondary, they're just swarming the receivers. I'm not sure how they're all getting there all at the same time, but they are.
That's kind of how I feel. I mean, Struthers, he's made some nice throws, but he's literally 1 of 9. And the one completion was a catch by Bailey O'Shaughnessy at the line of scrimmage. That's it. Arizona defense has been nearly flawless. Empty back set for Struthers. Nearly runs into the heat, throws across his body, and that's not as good of a throw from Struthers. Off target, looking for Logan Keel. It's 4th down.
And once again, Denver have to punt and bring their defense back on the field. I know it's like a broken record, but...
You and I saw Denver last weekend against Seattle, Rochelle, and it ended up being a very lopsided loss for Denver, but it didn't feel like it. I mean, again, Seattle scored 62 points, which is the most points they've ever scored in just year 3 of that franchise, and the most points that Denver has ever given up in a much longer tenure in the league, it must be said. But it didn't feel like that bad of a game. And we were all talking after the broadcast as well, like, You know, Seattle ended up winning. They win by 30 plus. It's a blowout no matter how you slice it, but it did not feel like that because Denver played quite well despite giving up all those points and despite, all the, infamy about, all the points that they've given up most in franchise history and so on. But they did not play that poorly, it felt like, in that game. Seattle just played extremely well. And so far here today, as Moses gets 4, it's a 27-point spread late in the first half. And unfortunately for Denver, you can't say the same. They're not playing very well.
Yeah, their offense definitely is not playing well, and the defense has just been on the field the whole entire game.
And that's never a good sign for anybody. Even for an average defense like Denver, you're just going to wear them down. 2 minutes left in the first half. All Arizona so far. You are watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on YouTube. Happy to have you with us. Tim Hackett and Rochelle Colston with Ron Haynes, Justin Reside, and Adam Knoll and Cameron. Things have changed for Arizona over the course of this week. Moses looking to right the ship. DJ Moses, right sideline, and just barely nudged out of bounds by Rosca Santagria. That could have been touchdown number 5, if not for him.
They're very lucky he got that last little push out of bounds. I thought he was off to the races, Tim.
Me too.
Well,
look,
nice pursuit.
Go ahead, Ray, sorry.
Nice pursuit by Santagria.
A stat man, as we used to call him. I think other guys have taken over that mantle ever since the work that you have done in the stats team here in the SFL, but that was what we used to call Rosca in the first years of the SFL minor leagues. Was a standout back then and has settled into a nice career here in the pros as a cornerback mix here for Denver. Moses, nothing doing. Great tackle, one-on-one by Luis Quintana. And maybe a gain of 1 there for Moses.
Yeah, we said his name quite a few times now. He's having a pretty decent game.
That was a 25-yard run for Moses. And get this, DJ averages 152 rush yards per game. He is up to 190 in the first half. Just goes to show you how excellent he has been. Looking to add to that. Spins away from one hit. Spins away from another. And he will add a lot more. And his 5th rushing touchdown of the night. He's over 200 rushing yards in the first half. DJ Moses can do no wrong. All Arizona.
I thought they had him in the backfield, Tim. I thought he was going down. But no. I think I'll just spin out of that, spin out of another one, and just keep trucking towards the end zone.
All of these rookies on this Denver defense, they're not able to do anything to stop DJ Moses. That was Kippa Jones, who was completely just shaken through. 211 rushing yards officially for Moses, 5 rushing touchdowns. He had just 7 all season through Arizona's first 9 games. Not a very high total. You don't need me to tell you that. And he is now up to 12 tonight alone. And suddenly, he's turned a very good season into an outstanding season just by himself.
Let me say, Ashley, hasn't thrown the ball very much, but tonight she's reached 1,800 passing yards for the season. So when she does throw the ball, she gets big yardage, apparently.
And she's thrown as much tonight as she has all season as this kickoff sails through the back of the end zone by JT Delaney, neutralizing the best part of Denver's game plan so far, their special teams. So much for that on this possession. Jackson has already thrown the ball 19 times for 194 yards in the first half. No touchdowns, but she's been really, really good. But no one cares because DJ Moses is putting on one of the best running back performances that we have ever seen in a league full of great running back performances this season. We'll talk a lot more about that as we go along.
He's at 9.3 yards per carry right now.
And a first down for Denver, their first of the day. Great throw from from Struthers' Jeremy Mosley on the catch, and a gain of 14 for the Nightwings.
So Denver is sitting at a total of 21 yards on offense right now.
Yeah, and 15 of those came on that one catch. That's more like it. And look, we talked about this when we brought up the Seattle game last week. The Nightwings got on a run. They made that a game. They came back from an early deficit. This is a much bigger deficit. Struthers intercepted on a jumping catch by Eddie Gage. Unbelievable grab by the Hall of Famer.
Eddie Gage, once again, I mean, he's an old man, but he's out there. Still can't return one for a pick six, but he makes an interception.
That's worth, well, that's not quite worth a pick six. We're not going to lie, but that is an incredible catch. We're going to go for it, Rochelle. That is the nice hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. Arizona offenses look great, but DJ Moses has hit all the highlights, so the nice hands catch is not going to go to either Donnie Hands or James Hands. It'll go to Eddie Gage. And AJ right back on the field. Great catch by Todd, breaking through a hit and just barely over the magic yellow line for a first down. And who's going to call a timeout here? Arizona, maybe?
I don't know. If I was Denver, I wouldn't.
I mean, yeah, no kidding. It's got to be Arizona. There you go. Okay. Trying to get some reps into this offense, I guess. Start with the ball at midfield, just trying to see what you can do with less than 2 minutes left.
And that foot definitely on that pedal. Oh, PI.
Yeah. And there's another catch by Hands and our first penalty flag of the game. And pass interference against Denver. We mentioned it's when it rains, it pours, and then you said when it's storming. I think it's monsooning now.
There's hail.
It's Arizona in October, and it's hailing. That is how hail-acious this game has been so far for Denver. Look, Hands is over 100 receiving yards in the first half, and nobody cares because DJ Moses has 5 rushing touchdowns. The Scorpions have 2 interceptions and have allowed just 1 first down. And Jackson somehow feathers that one in, ripped away by Todd out of the hands of Luke Schreiner. What a snag.
I'm telling you, these receivers are making these unbelievable catches, and it's like, really? It's a 50-50 ball, and they always come up away with it.
Hands and Todd have almost the exact same stat line tonight. 7 for 106 unofficially for Hands, 7 for 105 unofficially for Todd. How about that? They've both been great. Again, they've both been afterthoughts in the grand scheme of this game.
Let's see if we can get a receiver with a touchdown this drive.
Jackson wants that as well. Jackson, and over top of James Hands. Is this going to be PI again?
Yes, yes.
And that was Quintana on the coverage for Denver. I think he's had both of those on this drive. Arizona will accept this one because this time the pass was incomplete.
And the defense is getting frustrated out there, Tim. They're tired. They've been on the field way too long. They're trying to do anything they can. Get their offense back on the field.
That's got to be all it is. They're just absolutely exhausted, and you got to imagine they're just not just frustrated but furious by how this game has gone. And it's hard to blame them. Denver packs the line, but there's a lot of space now over the middle of that. Empty back set for the Scorpions. 4-man rush. Ashley to the end zone and dropped by James Hands. Look, I mean, if we're going to nitpick anything in what's been an almost perfect first half, Arizona has dropped 2 would-be touchdowns. You can't have that.
No, you can't. I guess when the score is 41-7, though, you really don't care.
For sure, but we know how meticulous Eddie is in just about everything, and he's not going to let that go. Those are 2 big-time receivers in James Hands and Will Todd that have dropped touchdowns for Ashley. TJ Punk in motion. We haven't even seen him at all in this game. Doesn't even have a Well, they go his way. Punk's going to play it short, and Jackson is going to throw a pick. Denver saves face, and rookie Luke Schreiner with the interception. They finally stop an Arizona drive. Great defense by the rookie.
Wow, call me impressed because I thought for sure it'd be another touchdown right here by the Hands.
It was James. It was James on the target, Ray, just going for an end zone curl route. He was about a yard short of the sticks, and Schreiner was a couple of yards shorter of that, and right to him, really. Well,
Ashley finally made one mistake in the game tonight.
And that one's on James Hands. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not a great throw from Ashley to set up that interception, but if Hands catches the touchdown, we're not even talking about it. Struthers zips it in. What a catch through heavy coverage. I mean, Everett Garrison was all over R.E. Mills.
Oh, even threw a penalty on him, he still caught the ball.
Yeah. Well, Denver declines. Fair enough. We've seen 3 pass interference calls in the last minutes of game time after we didn't have any penalties at all prior to that.
I know. Strange.
It's like in soccer when all of a sudden refs start calling yellow cards left and right, or maybe I'm just used to that from what I see on a weekly basis. 19-yard line. Denver's going to have to march the length of the field even after that pick. O'Shaughnessy. Decent run for O'Shaughnessy, and the clock's going to run here, Ray.
And maybe he's going to let it run out.
And Stefan Forge and company will just put a nightmarish first half in the rearview mirror. A brilliant start for Arizona, not even dampened at all by that interception in the final minutes. All Scorpions to start things off, and after 2 quarters, Arizona looked primed towards winning another division title late on this season. 41-7 is your halftime score. To say this is unexpected, Rochelle, is, I mean, look, Arizona were favorites. They're pretty significant favorites in this game, but 41-7 is not what anybody expected.
Yeah, and if you're Denver, you're going to the locker room. You've had 40 yards on offense total. You got every group in the at halftime. I'm not sure what you need to do at halftime, but gotta get better than this.
Yeah, it can't get worse, right? I mean, let's be brutally honest. Again, we try to be nice in this league because, as you and I well know, so many hardworking men and women who try to do everything they can to make things happen for themselves, their teammates, their players, and you can't always win. Somebody's got to lose every week. There are no ties in the SFL. DJ Moses, the most no-brainer halftime player of the week ever, player of the game, ever. 211 yards and 5 scores, but we know there are so many hardworking people. Stefan Forge is a good dude and a hardworking coach, but I mean, let's be honest. This was just a brutal first half for his team. Not even his fault necessarily. It's just Arizona simply outplayed Denver, and now it's up to him and the coaching staff to do something to try to right this ship over the last 20 minutes. We're underway in the second half from Fatality Field. Alex Jackson has Denver's only bright spot of that first half with a kick 6 and a decent kick return to start off the second half. For the first time tonight, we've got a game break. Let's check in with Commissioner Cameron Irvine in the SFL studios.
Thank you, Tim. Sioux Falls in Tulsa tonight, a pair of 3 and 6 teams fighting for first place in the Central. Sanzo Robinson with 44 yards this season, 44 yards tonight, and that touchdown. Tulsa has the early advantage, 20-7, after Sioux Falls won the matchup earlier this season. Back to you.
Good synchronicity there, Cam. Thanks very much, and welcome back to Phoenix. Tim Hackett and Rochelle Colston here with you for the start of the second half. All Arizona in the first half, as you can see. Gene Struthers will hand it off to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and O'Shaughnessy with the gain of a couple. We've got Ron Haynes, Justin Reside, and Adam Nold alongside us. Thank you for joining us wherever you're joining us from. Denver has barely been on the field on offense so far tonight, Ray, that I didn't even get a chance to introduce Arizona's defense. We're in the third quarter. Like, I know I'm slacking, but, you know, come on. You didn't even give me a chance to do it. I have a feeling I'll get my ad reads in tonight, though. Cam will be happier with me than he normally is. Gene Struthers under center. Waits, throws, and hits man in target. Nice catch by Dylan Lewis, and that is Denver's second first down of the game.
I'm glad to see them come out on first down and actually get a play out. Second down, actually. The first one was a run, but getting first down is a good sign.
Look, for me, Rochelle, I'm no coach. You've been a coach in this league for a while and an owner in this league for a while. But even if you know, like in your heart of hearts, if you're Denver, we're not going to win this game. It's a huge hill to overcome for any team, right? This is not an indictment of them. But if you got to play it like it's 0-0 and just go out there and do whatever you can. Just try to get some positive reps, some good tape, and some confidence going forward.
Nice.
And what a catch! That'll help with all of that. One-hand snag by Jeremy Mosley.
Yeah, nice play. So the nice job so far by Denver. They must have regrouped at halftime and came up with a better game plan.
Well, we've already done it, but we'll get the read in again. Why not? That's the nice hands catch brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and player in it SFL 4K23. The offense gets some love. Eddie Gage had the first one. Jeremy Mosley has that one. Nice catch. 16-yard catch for Mosley. His third grab of the night. Denver across midfield. I am stunned. Can't even hide it. Struthers behind his target.
Wait.
Mosley makes the catch. Mosley accelerates. He goes right down Broadway and will be hit at the goal line. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. Nothing's going right for Denver. You see their bench. They think he's in. It's Garrison
thought he
on the
was in.
stop, somehow keeping Mosley out of the end zone. Unreal.
You watch his replay games. I thought he was in.
Camera's on Dylan Lewis, but hey.
Yep, turned around. He turned around for some reason. If he just would have stayed forward, he'd have been in the end zone.
That's absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe that call. 40 yards on the catch and run for Mosley, but he didn't get the yard that mattered most. First and goal for Denver.
There we
O'Shaughnessy
go.
dives, touchdown Nightwings. A brilliant drive to start off the second half, and Bailey O'Shaughnessy caps it off with his 13th touchdown of the year.
The only problem is they scored very quickly, and their defense has to get back on the field.
You had an abbreviated halftime. Not quite the, instant halftimes of SFL old, but halftime is nowhere near long enough for Denver to kind of recover from that first half, or maybe it was, Rochelle. I mean, how about that opening drive? Again, 1 first down in the first half, and 40 total yards of offense in the first half? Denver picks up 68 yards on that drive alone on only 5 plays. And O'Shaughnessy with a little bit of a vulture for anybody that's got Jeremy Mosley in SFL fantasy. But even still, that'll be a touchdown for Denver, their first on offense of the game. And what a way to start the second half. And it does not get any better. That was a brilliant drive.
Definitely. So there is some hope there in Denver.
Look, we mentioned this in passing, but again, in that game against Seattle, ended up being a blowout, ended up being a lopsided loss, historically bad defense for Denver in terms of points allowed. But there were some times, there were some drives, some stretches of the game where they looked really good, and they were right there in it until the third quarter, really. And so we'll see if Denver can do something like that again as DJ Moses gets 6. We came away, or at least I came away at halftime of that game last week against Seattle, and by the halftime break, the Nemesis had started to pull away, and again, they ended up winning by 30 plus, but it was a pretty impressive performance from Denver at times, and I remember saying to you at some point during the game, if Denver plays like that the whole game, that's a good team. If the way they played, over a stretch of 4 or 5 possessions, if they can do that consistently, then that's a tough out. Moses blown up by Rosca Santagria, they'll give him 1. But, I mean, we just saw that drive from Denver. I mean, that's as good as it gets. Really, really good.
And their defense has come out to play. I mean, they're containing Moses right now. They need to do it one more time right here.
Justin Reside telling us we just hit the over after that touchdown by Denver. 55 total points in the first minute or so of the second half. Not bad. Jackson tosses to Moses. First down, DJ Moses, and this has been a nightmarish sight for Denver all day. DJ Moses in space. He's got a first down.
And that time, Moses waited for his blockers and just broke loose. Great block there. Another great block there. I mean, there's nothing you can do with that.
We're being nitpicky, as I said earlier, because, I mean, there hasn't really been much of anything bad for Arizona in this game, but they haven't been great on the third downs where they actually have had them. They're now just 2 of 5 on third downs in the game. It's their second conversion. Again, they haven't really needed to be, but they failed twice, had to settle for 2 field goals, and that time they get it.
Oh, no.
The conversion on first down across the 45-yard line. DJ Moses is dominating.
I wouldn't do this run so they could find an answer for him.
They have not had an answer for him at all. 250 rushing yards tonight for Moses. There you see it officially, 247, 8.8 yards per carry. Again, on the season, he averages 6 yards per carry, which is 6th best in the league, just a tick under 9 yards per carry tonight, which is nuts. They'll give it to him again, and that yards per carry is going to go down. thanks to Luis Quintana.
And Luis Quintana's had himself a pretty good game. We've been calling his name a lot, stopping Moses.
Unfortunately, he's got to do a lot of work to try to stop Moses. So, yeah, he's going to get his name called a lot, for better or for worse. He has made another tackle. We've got him at 6 in the game. Probably all of them on Moses. Gets around Quintana. Gets through Kippa Jones. And Santagria finally puts an end to that run for DJ Moses.
If you're Denver, this is a big 3rd down and 4. You need to come up with a big stop right here and get the ball back to your offense.
6th tackle for Araska in the game. By the way, we've got Arizona with 11 tackles as a team because Denver has barely had the ball on offense. Jackson evades. She's going to step up and run. Can't get through. Luis Quintana, the rookie linebacker, just stonewalled the veteran Ashley Jackson on a 3rd down bid. Welcome to the league, Luis.
Punt.
Yeah, Arizona will punt for the first time tonight, Ray. Another failed 3rd down.
I thought they were in field goal range, but maybe not.
It's on the fringes, I think. And Delaney's one of the better kickers in the league for my money. I mean, it would be a 51-yarder from here, so they will punt it with Travius James, who they just signed a little while ago, and it will roll out to the 15-yard line, so a net of 19 on that punt for the rookie punter.
Good job by Denver forcing the punt for the first time tonight.
The Denver defense, I mean, they had that goal line interception on their last possession of the first half and the punts on the first possession of the second half. So that's back-to-back wins by this Denver defense. Nightwings are going to have to do a lot to try to right this ship. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, nothing doing there. Let's tell you about the Arizona defense, shall we? We haven't done it yet, so we might as well get it in. On the line, that's the guy who just made that play, D.D. Sachs, with Alex Constantine, Hunter Norwood, and David Tilley. Linebackers, Sean Moore, J.R. Lawless, and Nathaniel Diggs. Cornerbacks, Zachary Hamburger, Ricky Robinson, Parker Thomas, Everett Garrison. Safeties, Iverson Gamble, and Eddie Gage. There you go, finally. Struthers, under pressure, hits Mosley on a shallow cross, and Mosley held to a gain of about 4.
That time, Struthers felt the pressure, just dumped it off. But a good 5-yard gain there. 3rd and manageable here.
Wonder when Denver will try to get it to Logan Keel. He's been their top receiver this season with just under 700 yards. They went to him once, it didn't work. 3rd down, short throw. Ari Mills right at the sticks, and first down, they say. Just barely, but that's good enough.
Ooh. That was like a nice shoestring, Tim.
No challenge coming from Eddie Gage. He's happy to just let it roll in a game like this. They needed the 24 officially, and the ball has been spotted well past it, so I guess it's more than good enough. Struthers, Mosley feeds that through traffic again, and Jeremy Mosley with another nice game.
So now Denver's decided to dink and dunk here, which is working for them. They're picking up 5 yards to get a little deep pass. Hey, whatever works.
Sure. I mean, just literally, I mean, I hate the term momentum, Rochelle, but I mean, I got to use it here. I mean, you just got to generate. And that's exactly what Denver did with that great first drive, and they're churning it out once again here. Gain of 6 on first down. That'll work. Here's Ari Mills, and Mills gets the first down. So, I mean, back-to-back first downs on this possession for Denver. Again, they had just 1 in the entire first half. And I don't know if Arizona's, taking the gas off the pedal yet. I think it's too early to really do that, even though you're dominating. But regardless of why, Denver's starting to get into a groove here.
Yeah, definitely, Tim.
Let's see if Denver can turn this into something else. Gene Struthers, hit as he throws, lofts it wide open. Wow. There is Logan Keel with his first catch and a gain of 16 up the left sideline.
Yeah, great concentration by Struthers there because he was being hit as he threw that ball and still found his receiver.
I'm looking back, and actually, that was the 5th target today for Logan Keel. Failed on the first 4, obviously, and that one officially a gain of 17 for Keel. Denver across midfield with a second straight possession after they were not able to do that at all in the first half. Time this time for Struthers. Fires, and another one-handed snag. That's a great catch.
Yeah, where was this offense in the first half, Tim? Because they're looking good right now.
Great question. I mean, it's not like you bring out a whole new line. It's not like hockey or something where you're just going to, the first unit didn't work, let's throw in the second unit. That's not how this league works. This is the same unit out there. And it's the same Arizona defense. Like I said, it's not like they pulled all the starters here in the third quarter. It's way too early for that. Well, we don't see that very much in the SFL anymore, period. Struthers is going to be hit. He will pick up a yard, so it won't be a sack, but he got plastered by Hunter Norwood.
Yeah, Hunter Norwood's always dangerous, and he's a big man coming at you.
I was just about to answer your question. It was a bit of a rhetorical question. I was going to give you an answer anyway. You said, where was this offense? I was about to say Struthers has had more time in the second half than he did in the first, but not on that play. Finally, the pressure gets home, but it ends up as a gain of 1. O'Shaughnessy with a gain of a little bit more than 1. Hit by David Tilley and Sean Moore. Third down for Denver.
Yeah, and poor Bailey. He's having a tough night out there.
And yes, it is counted as a rushing carry for Struthers. He was hit for forward progress, so it isn't a sack. He got a gain of 1. What could have been a loss, but it was a gain. Third down. Struthers hit as he throws, and Keel hauls it in. And Logan Keel dragging Iverson Gamble into the red zone. First and goal.
Yeah, Gene Struthers is working very well under pressure because Arizona is bringing it. He's just somehow getting the passes off.
I think Struthers, I mean, if we didn't see it live, but I'm pretty sure he got hit in the leg as he throwing that ball and still was able to settle in and fire a great throw, and good catch by Keel. His second of the drive after he didn't have any coming into this possession. 30 yards on 2 catches for Keel on this possession. First and goal for the Night Wings from the 10. Struthers evades, will flip it short, and that is brought in again by Logan Keel. That'll drop that yards per catch down quite a bit, but a decent gain to the 5-yard line.
And that time he paid for that catch as he was hit.
No doubt. Absolutely smacked. They'll mark him short of the 5. Second and goal. Denver scores here. Things get really interesting in this game. The give to the up back. O'Shaughnessy churning forward and stopped just short of the goal line. I think that was a good spot.
Me too. And finally, Bailey breaks free.
Yeah, it's been slow going for him today, no question about it. He's one of the league's best, but has not had much running room. Nearly had his second touchdown, but not quite. That's the end of the third quarter. All Denver in that third quarter, if you can believe it. Arizona did not score at all, and Denver on the cusp again. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
That was Chris Curtis. We are Tim Hackett and Rochelle Colston. Thank you to you for joining us, Ray, and thank you for watching wherever you're watching from. Third down and goal. Nose of the ball once again, just shy of the goal line. Arizona was in this situation earlier. Denver will give it to R.E. Mills, and Mills will break the plane just barely. Back-to-back scores to start off the second half for the Night Wings, and this game isn't over yet.
No, Denver's inching their way back in, looking tough on defense, and their offense is looking really good right now.
This is as good a look. We've said it. I tend to be pretty honest, Rochelle. You know that about me and my assessment of our team and my assessment of other teams. I'm pretty honest when I can be. That first half was about as bad as it can get for Denver. All phases of the game except for the kick 6. But to start off the second half, I don't know how much better you can get. You've scored twice. You've held Arizona to absolutely nothing. And you've cut this to a 20-point game. It's still a massive hole. I mean, don't get me wrong. You got to score 20 points in 10 minutes. That's extremely difficult. But optically and in terms of, the internal belief, momentum, whatever else you want to say, this has been a great start for Denver.
Let's see if they get a hold on defense one more time.
Ryan Orlovsky, a standout special teamer in his own right, out to the 31-yard line. Liking the game so far? You should be now. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events per year. There's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your supports. Well, Arizona came into this week first place in the West Division. They were 1.5 games up on San Diego. Arizona was 6-3. San Diego was 5-5. There was a chance that the Scorpions could have clinched the division with a win tonight if other results went their way, but no other results went their way. So even if Arizona wins, they will not be able to clinch the division or a playoff spot as DJ Moses gets 3. It's pretty close. It's almost inevitable for Arizona at this point, but it won't happen yet, even if they hold on to what is dwindled down to a 20-point lead. And the fact that we're talking about Arizona clinching a playoff spot this early is not a surprise considering what they've done recently, but how this franchise started, they'll take it. Here's a carry for Justin Williams, his first of the night. It's good for an Arizona first down. Before that, let's go to SFL Studios. Cameron Irvine with the game break.
Thank you, Tim. So I was just about to say, can you believe the Tulsa game is actually a bigger blowout than this one? However, K. Marion gets hurt earlier in the first quarter, so a nobody comes in for Sioux Falls and takes it all the way back to the house to give them something to cheer about. Tulsa all over the Sparrows, 30-14. Back to you in Arizona.
Thanks very much, Kamish. All Arizona so far, but it's been a lot better for Denver of late. DJ Moses with a gain of 4. Tim Hackett, Rochelle Colston with Just Reside, Ron Haynes, and Adam Lold here. You can watch that game also live on our SFL YouTube channel with Jacob Clear and Brett Sahlberg. Tulsa against Sioux Falls. Important game for both of those teams. Less so, I think, for these two teams. It's first versus fourth in the West Division on display tonight, but obviously a ton of pride at stake as Moses is stopped just short of the first down line by his opposite, number 25, Lucas DeVore.
Yeah, and I mean, second half, Denver's doing a much better job of containing Moses.
No doubt about it. Look, he's got 265 rushing yards officially, 100 more than his season average, but hardly any of those have come in the second half. They will run it on third down. Moses has it. Easy does it. First down for Arizona. I think you don't have to look any further than this Arizona team, Rochelle, to find the best example of the difference in this era of the SFL here with this new game in Season 21 versus the last era of the SFL. Arizona was the best rushing team in the league last season at 130 yards per game. Again, that led the league. This season, they are second in the league in rushing, which doesn't sound like a fall-off, but I'll explain more. Jackson fires into traffic. What a throw. And Will Todd has been brilliant on the balance of this game. Great catch.
Actually, I mean, amazing. She throws the ball, trusts her receivers, trusts her tight end. She's put in heavy traffic, and somehow her receivers and tight ends come down with the ball.
We've criticized Denver, and it's been deserved. But look, that was fantastic coverage by Luke Schreiner, but Todd just got through him, got up, and made the catch, and made it look easy. Jackson's had a very nice night. The one interception aside, she's been very, very good. But again, no one cares because DJ Moses has just been flawless. Here's Justin Williams. Williams with the stiff arm, leaves Luis Quintana in his wake, and Williams steps out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. He could have scored on that one. It has been a killer season for Justin Williams, one of the best fullback seasons in league history, over 500 rushing yards now on his second carry of the night.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Arizona just has so many offensive weapons. You stop one, then they bring out another one. I mean, it's ridiculous.
He's second in the league among fullbacks, we learned before the game, in both yards and touchdowns. Now over 500 rushing yards this season and 10 scores. Top 30 in the league in carries. He's now close to 100 of those. They use him heavily. They will give it to him here. Williams is taken down by Lucas DeVore. Touchdown saving tackle for sure.
They're just trying to reward him here. Timmy's been blocking all night for Moses. They're trying to give him some love here.
Absolutely right. He didn't touch the ball at all before this possession. He's now had 3 carries. And will they let him punch it in? Moses has scored 5 times, all from this area of the field. Which way do they go? Denver has had no answer except for that one pick. The give. Moses diving, touchdown. DJ Moses has his 6th. And Arizona finally strikes in the second half.
Yeah, if you're Denver, I mean, you knew it was coming. You couldn't keep Scorpions down for long, and Here they are.
A new season high rushing yards for DJ Moses with over 270. His previous high was 2 months ago, almost to the day, against Indianapolis with 254 and 6 rushing touchdowns tonight. He had 7 total through Arizona's first 9 games, and he has almost doubled his season output tonight alone. Delaney hits the extra point, 48-21. Let me finish that point I was talking about earlier. Again, Arizona led the league in rushing yards last season, 130. They're second this season. That doesn't seem like a drop-off, except when you note that they're second in the league in rushing this season with 214 rushing yards per game. So they've actually upped their output, but so has the rest of the league. 84 more rushing yards this season on average than what they did last year where they led the league. And all of that's good enough for just second place because Baltimore has a better rushing average with 222 yards per game, which is just crazy. I mean, that just goes to show you how this league has changed. There are so many good running teams, so many good running backs. Denver's got one of them in Bailey O'Shaughnessy. He's top 10 in the league in carries and yards, but he's got more rushing yards this season than DJ Moses. Not anymore after tonight. O'Shaughnessy with a gain of 6, trying to right that record a little bit. Let me go a step further. Arizona is one of just 2 teams in the league this season to average more rushing yards than passing yards. That's going to sound like an impossible task to Ray because of how much LA has struggled to run the ball this season, but it is easier to pass the ball typically, you would think, but Arizona has flipped that script. Canton is the other team with more rushing yards this season than passing yards. R.E. Mills with a gain of 4. It'll be third down. But Canton, unlike Arizona, I mean, Arizona's an okay passing team and a great running team. Canton is a dismal passing team. They're last in the league in passing yards and 5th in rushing. So that helps them kind of fit that bill. The league average this season is 145 rushing yards per game. That is what teams do on average this season. Again, Arizona led the league last season with 130 rushing yards per game. They were the best in the league. R.E. Mills rushes for a first down. Nobody ran the ball better than Arizona did last season, and teams are averaging better than what Arizona did at its peak last season. From season 20 to season 21, that's higher than Arizona's league average total last season. Welcome to the new era of the league.
The season's been kind of crazy. You know, you're seeing different things every week.
And we're seeing another great throw from Struthers to Jeremy Mosley out to the 40-yard line. I was going to let you continue that point, Ray, but I guess we got to watch the action here with 5 minutes left. Struthers. Off the body of Jeremy Mosley. Man, that is a tough break. Mosley's over 100 receiving yards, and he should have had a few more.
And Denver's doing a lot better this half. They have more offensive yards, finally. I mean, Struthers up to 182 yards now.
125 of them have gone to Jeremy Mosley. He's had a great day. He's going to be lost in the shuffle of what DJ Moses has done. From the 40, Struthers this way off of the body of Alex Jackson, who has not been used very much in the offense this season, just 8 catches, and he couldn't bring in his 9th.
He's got to catch those. You just have to at this point in the game.
You're playing for playing time as well. I mean, it's hard to get into this mix. Keel and Mosley are clearly the top 2 for Struthers, but there hasn't been a lot else in this passing game all season, so an opportunity for Jackson to move up the depth chart maybe, but not able to do it there. Struthers, one-handed catch by another guy looking for some opportunity. Dylan Lewis, great grab. His second catch of the day goes for 21. Struthers again and picked off for the 3rd time today. That time it's brought in by linebacker Sean Moore, and that should just about do it for Denver.
And this season, linebackers can catch, so look out.
Another change in the league, yeah?
Yeah. Linebackers are tough now. You catch.
Here's another difference in the league that I noticed when doing some research for this game. Arizona, they've only given the ball away 10 times before tonight's. And talk about a reversal of fates. They've now taken the ball away 3 times in this game, as DJ Moses is going to get stopped up behind the line for maybe the 2nd time all day. It will officially be a tackle for loss. The first tackle for loss for Denver tonight. Rookie defensive tackle Brenda Puff leads the way.
Tommy called her name tonight.
No doubts. Defensive line has had nothing to say against this Arizona offensive line, which is quite possibly the best in the league, run blocking and pass blocking. They've given up just 2 sacks all season. It's hard to believe that's not the fewest in the league, but it's not. It's top 5. It's hard to give up fewer than 2 sacks in 9 games, but other teams have.
That was Sean Moore's first career interception that just posted by Eddie Gage.
All right. Moses breaks through Brenda Puff and is stopped short of the line to gain. So let me finish my other point. Arizona gave the ball away just 10 times through their first 9 games. That's 6th fewest in the league. That's kind of standard with Ashley Jackson at quarterback. But their defense, only 4 takeaways through 9 games. That was 2nd least in the league. Only Mexico City, which is having a dismal season, surprising me and everybody, they were the only team with fewer takeaways. They had just 3 all season. Again, Arizona with 4 all season before tonight, and they've got 3 interceptions from 3 different players. Denver was actually the worst takeaway team in the league in each of the last 2 seasons with 20 and 17 respectively. 17 was last in the league, and this season Mexico City has 3. That's last in the league. Goes to show you how much change can happen on off season as Moses gets the first down. Moses gets a break. DJ Moses is going to accelerate. Only one man can stop him. That's Nick Kindler, hot on his heels. DJ Moses will go all the way for his 7th rushing touchdown of the night. He's over 300 rushing yards and a career game. Spin that track. DJ is on a roll.
Just posted in the chat that break season 2 single game rushing record.
The most rushing yards by any back in the new era of the Simulation Football League. 7 rushing touchdowns. That one good for 81 yards for DJ Moses. Colin Hart had the previous season high 312 for Indianapolis against Minnesota on the last few days of July. Here we are, halfway through October, the first season of the new era of the Simulation Football League, and DJ Moses is officially the king.
And Sam, don't look now, but Arizona has broken the over by themselves.
Exactly. And I mean, look, it's kind of the similar storyline that we saw last week from Denver. They were, I mean, I'm not going to say they were in it. They got back to within 20, and like we said, that was a huge hole to climb out of, but they looked good that whole third quarter, offensively and defensively. They were great, but they've just fallen apart here once again in the fourth quarter, and it's going to be another blowout.
Yeah, I mean, give credit to Arizona, but their defense has been, Denver's defense has been on the field. They're young. They've been on the field a long time. They made some, big pass and big penalty mistakes, and just tough out there.
Well, there's something easy to play for here for Denver. If they lose, they're out of the playoffs and eliminated from playoff contention, but that's kind of inevitable for a 3-7 team. Struthers airmails his target, but last week we mentioned it already. They lost to Seattle 62-31, most points they've ever given up in franchise history, and it was also the largest margin of defeats in franchise history. 31 points. They were doubled up, and quick math, margin of defeat right now, if it stands, 34. So they would have set back-to-back ignominious marks for the biggest margins of defeat in back-to-back weeks if they're not able to score late. Struthers, wide open is Dylan Lewis, out across the 40-yard line. Eddie Gage on the stop.
This is a good formation to be in your hurry-up offense, so look out.
They need at least a field goal to match last week's margin of defeat. Struthers coming back to it is Mosley. His career day continues. 7 yards for Mosley. He's over 130. Struthers to the sideline. Keel in stride. Logan Keel shakes out of a tackle. Up the sideline he goes, and Logan Keel will score. After the first hit, he was untouched. Keel hauls it in. Touchdown, Night Wings.
A great right by Keel and a great throw by Struthers. Climbing stride, broke that one tackle. He was off to the races and nobody was going to catch him.
52 yards on the catch and run for Logan Keel. And he's had a great season, his 4th receiving touchdown. And that might do it for Denver. We know that Arizona has the ability to go score, but they might have just been able to cover that and avoid losing by a larger margin than they did last week because of that great drive.
Great quick drive. It's only 4 plays.
No doubt. PAT is good. Again, this Denver offense has looked a lot better in the second half. And again, it's not pull the plug. You got maybe emotionally they have, right? They're up by a massive amount, but that was Parker Thomas that was on that coverage. She's one of the best slot corners in the league, who's now a full-time outside corner. And Williams is going to get this return. Unreal. Justin Williams, he's a fullback, breaks out of the hit and then gets shoved out of bounds 15 yards from the end zone. That would have been just not just a nail in the coffin, but 20 nails in the coffin if Williams was able to do that.
I mean, that's the last person you wanted to kick the ball to on an onside kick. Wow.
DJ Moses had a chance to break the league's rushing record, even dating back to the previous era of the SFL, but probably not anymore. Only 2:08 left, and after that onside kick, Justin Williams got all those yards. Will they give it to Williams now? It is officially 1st and goal. Ball on the 10-yard line. Denver shows rush. Here's Moses. Can he do it again? He can!
Oh my God.
Rushing touchdown number 8 for DJ Moses. Absolutely unbelievable.
Man, how many touchdowns did he have coming into this game?
7.
Oh, wow.
He has doubled and exceeded his season total in just this game. 7 touchdowns on the season, 8 touchdowns on the night. I have never seen anything like this, Rochelle.
Me either. It's like, Fort Worth last night, 8 for 8. Every drive they scored a touchdown. Well, Arizona did more than that.
They're not quite at 100%, but they have scored even more than that, and they have looked amazing doing it. Moses has all 8 Arizona scores. JT Delaney also has 2 field goals, and DJ Moses spinning a track for the ages. Unbelievable performance.
Cam just posted the 8 rushing touchdowns and the new SFL single game record for rushing touchdowns in a single game in a game. So he has that record now.
He is 50 yards away from the most rushing yards in a game ever, and he has now rushed for more touchdowns in a game than anybody else in the 10-plus year history of the Simulation Football League. 8 rushing touchdowns for Moses. He is officially the new king. Unbelievable. And just like that, we mentioned that Arizona could score quickly, and Denver's now staring once again at the most lopsided loss in franchise history unless they can do what they just did and score within 121 seconds. Score a touchdown, moreover. Struthers intercepted.
Oh, no.
4th pick today. Everett Garrison back the other direction. Tackle made by Logan Keel, preventing what would have been a score. And Arizona just adds another chapter to what has been a magnificent story told tonight.
I mean, all the records that were broken tonight in this game, I can't even think straight, Tim.
Here's another one. We just talked about it. Arizona was one of the worst takeaway teams in the league. Only 4 takeaways all season, all interceptions. They have picked Gene Struthers off 4 times tonight. Unreal. Struthers only threw 8 picks all season. He's only thrown 7 touchdowns. He's added 1 to that total, but unfortunately for him, he's also added 4 interceptions. His rough season continues. Starters are out there, 2 minutes left in regulation time. I can't believe it, but Moses very well might do it again, Rochelle. Timeout on the field.
Who's calling timeouts here, Denver?
I guess. I don't know why. I would want this game to end as soon as possible.
Me too.
Brett Solberg telling us in the chat, DJ Moses' last 3 games, 223 rushing yards versus LA, 243 rushing yards versus Portland, 376 now and counting against Denver, along with 8 rushing touchdowns. Trying to add some more to it, but he will not. Hit right at the line. Good stuff by Nick Kindler.
And if DJ Moses was a fantasy football player, I definitely want him on my team.
Yeah, this is the running back totals of 4 running backs in just one. He has outgained Denver by himself. We said that jokingly when Denver was doing nothing on offense in the first half, but Moses has literally outgained Denver as a team. 130 more yards for Moses than Jackson has as a passer. Denver called its second timeout. They'll toss it. Justin Williams has this carry. Williams with the stiff arm, and then he's sent backwards. Good rallying tackle by Denver. That's Stephon Forge on the final hit. And the Nightwings will call another timeout. They're trying to avoid that ignominy that I mentioned earlier of setting a back-to-back weeks with the largest margin of defeat ever. Trying to give their offense some more time. And they will knock Arizona's offense off the field. Number 3, JT Delaney with his 3rd field goal attempt.
That's good.
No problem. He had made just 5 all season before tonight, but he's 3 of 3 in this game, and Arizona extends the lead even further. Well, I'm assuming that'll ruin Arizona's chances of scoring 69 points, but this is now officially the most points that Arizona has ever scored in a game. Their previous high was 62 that they set all the way back in season 6. They were the Oklahoma City Renegades. They won just 3 games that season, and they managed to defeat the Houston Hyenas 62-59 in an absolute barn burner. Not quite a barn burner here. That was the most points that Arizona had scored. Season 6, all the way back in 2016. And here we are, the tail end of 2023, a new franchise record, 65 points for Arizona. And Eddie Gage is going to be saying, DJ Moses, I love you after this game.
Instead of saying Arizona, I love y'all, DJ Moses, I love you.
DJ Moses, I love you. Struthers, nice catch by Dylan Lewis. It's only good for a gain of 6. Denver is out of timeouts because they just used all of them on that last defensive possession. Struthers, off of the body of a target. That was Mosley. Pushed down by Eddie Gage. The referees have swallowed their whistles after calling a half dozen PIs earlier. Nothing doing on that one. And that's the only thing missing for Arizona in this game. Eddie's got an interception, his 3rd of the year, but you know what he really wants.
Definitely. We won't say it.
Yeah, we won't say it. And Cameron Irvine reminding us that that game I just mentioned is still the highest scoring game in league history. Over 120 points in that game. We're close to 100 in this one. Struthers intercepted again. Everett Garrison. He'll go up the near sideline, and he is going to be stopped. A touchdown saving tackle by Bailey O'Shaughnessy in a game that his team is losing by 40. He has 30 total yards in the game, and O'Shaughnessy never giving up. That would have been a pick 6 for Garrison.
For Bailey.
Yeah, poor Bailey's been a tough night, but what a play by Bailey. It would have been. Go ahead, sorry.
Maybe they should put her on defense.
It would have been career touchdown number 7 for Everett Garrison. His 3rd interception of the night, 5th thrown by Struthers. Do they dare give it to Moses again? No, they are going to take. Well, it's the only female quarterback in the league, Rochelle, but they're going to take the gentlemanly approach and kneel it out with a minute left. I was wondering if they would let Moses bring that total up to 9. Or maybe they would let Justin Williams try to chase T. Roy Gaines a little bit more and get a touchdown. Williams has been vultured a little bit, but with all of the exploits of DJ Moses, but alas. Arizona says enough is enough.
Yeah, Jeremy Vega saying, please just end the game.
Poor Jeremy's got to wait another 35 seconds of real time. This will be the last play. A kneel down from Ashley Jackson. Fantastic game from her. The greatest game for DJ Moses. An SFL record 8 rushing touchdowns, just shy of 400 rushing yards, twice his season average by himself. And Arizona with a franchise record 65 points. They move one step closer to securing a playoff spot once again. They own this season series now. Their 4th straight win over Denver in the all-time matchup. and this the most lopsided win of them all. All Arizona from the jump. The Scorpions improve to 7-3. Well, Rochelle, what more can you say? Just a brilliant game, top to bottom from Arizona.
I have 2 words. DJ Moses. That's it. I'm done.
DJ Moses, I love y'all. As all that we can say. 8 rushing touchdowns for Moses, better than 8 yards per carry for Arizona, and a franchise record 65 points.
And here goes Eddie with this $10 super chat. Arizona, I love y'all. Game ball to the hashtag the Red Sea. DJ Moses and the big dog with his first career pick.
That's Sean Moore with his first career pick, and the offensive line paving the way. We'll shout them out again because they never get enough love, not just on this team, but period. Not just in this league, but period.
Oh.
Igor Barbasov and Gene Benazzi, the 2 former Night Wings, helped pave the way, along with Sean Crooked, EJ DeQ, and Patrick Kelly for 8 rushing touchdowns for DJ Moses. You see it there, 377 rushing yards, about 50 away from the SFL record for most rushing yards in a game. You and I saw a performance in London 2 seasons ago from Robert Merrill. Rochelle, I wasn't sure that I would ever see a running back have a better performance than that one. We just did. One of the best running back performances ever in the history, 10 plus years, 21 seasons of the SFL. You just witnessed it tonight, and poor Denver had to stomach it. That's going to do it for us from Fatality Field. Arizona wins in a laugher. For Ron Haynes, Justin Reside, and Adam Nold, and Cameron Irvine, and my partner, Rochelle Colston, I've been Tim Hackett. We'll see you next time. Until then, so long. The Monday Night Spectacular rounds out Week 12 tomorrow night here on SFL YouTube. We'll see you then.
Good night, everybody.